Arts Council members here today. I thought that when I saw Being Julia in the movies last year, I'd seen the best thing I'd ever seen. Of course, I like everything that she does in the movies. And I first saw her in ACT some years back in San Francisco. But when you're talented, talent will out, and it always has with Annette Bening, who today is on the Arts Council, who just spent 2 full days helping us plan, doing strategic planning with the entire council, and who has an idea a minute as to how we might advocate and further the arts in the state of California. She just honestly is one of everybody's favorite people. We saw her today, wanting to talk to all of you, understanding what it means to be here for Arts Day. She offered to come and took her valuable time to be here, even though she's got a few other things on her plate too, and 4 kids at home, ages 5 to 13, and a husband who likes to see her too. So I would just say, would you please join me in welcoming our council member, Annette Bening.
Thank you so much. It's a great honor to be here today on California Arts Day. And I hope that the legislators and the governor are aware that this is going on. I wish they were all here with us, because the arts and culture is so key to our lives and to giving our lives meaning. I'm really proud to be a member of the California Arts Council. I was appointed last year by Senator John Burton, and I've learned a lot. The good news, I'm on the Arts Council. The bad news is we need more money. But anyway, all of you that are here, you know about that. I grew up in California. I went to grade school, junior high, high school. I went to Mesa Community College in San Diego. All right, go Mesa. I went to San Francisco State and I got a degree in theater arts. Thank you. I worked in the nonprofit theater for many years, so I owe California big. And the policies that were being implemented during the time that I was growing up gave me a helping hand. Everywhere I went, what I realize now as I look back is there was a teacher there linking me, giving me just that hand that I needed to get to the next place. When I was in 5th grade in San Diego, they took all of us kids to the opera. They load us on buses, it's a big field trip. You know, we didn't even care about the opera. We just thought, hey, it's a field trip, this is cool. They took us downtown. We go to the San Diego Opera House, and it's all kids. And they're chattering, and we're all talking, and causing trouble, and running around, and making a fuss, and the lights started to go down in the theater, and everyone started to scream and yell like kids do, and I will never forget this moment. The conductor raised up from the orchestra pit, and he put his elbows on the side. He had a big shock of gray hair, and they put the spotlight on him. And he said to all the children, "You will be quiet, and you will listen." And you know what? That's exactly what we did. And for the first time in my life, I learned how to listen to music. All kids deserve an experience like that. When I was in junior high, my English teacher, Mrs. McLaughlin, took us to the Old Globe Theater in San Diego, which is San Diego's nonprofit theater, and I saw my first Shakespeare play. I was like a kid in a wind machine. I couldn't believe the passion of the people, the sweat on their faces, the intensity of their feeling, and the sound of their voices. Just the sound of the human voice was, to me, so moving. And I'll tell you something, I didn't understand everything that they said, but I knew what they meant. And that's the essence of an artistic experience. It links us together. And for that moment, I was linked to the people on the stage, and I was linked to my fellow audience members, but most importantly, I was linked to something inside of myself. And that's the experience that we all need, and that we all need to give our own children. Unfortunately, it's very uneven in our state. The flame that was lit inside of me when I saw that performance is still burning. And I very much want to be a part of this experience that is talking about arts education and the lack of it in our state. Whether it's whether it's a movie or a poem or a painting or a marching band or an a cappella choir or a beautiful painting, these experiences link us together, and we transcend our individuality, and at the same time that we're brought out of ourselves, we are able to be more in touch with something in ourselves which transcends intellect and critical thinking. Right now, there's a kid somewhere, maybe let's say Los Angeles, in an inner city school, and the school's overcrowded, and it's underfunded, and there's no art program. And if he looks around him in his class, 50% of the kids in his class won't be there at graduation. We have a 50% dropout rate in Los Angeles in public schools. That, I think, is a crisis. Now, that kid, let's say that kid's got music in his head, and he's on the playground, and he's got that music, and it's just going in his head, and he loves music, and he listens to music all the time. If that kid went into a music class and started to sing, and there was a teacher standing there, like some of the teachers that are here today, I know a lot of you are teachers that help kids in arts programs. If there was a music teacher that said, "My God, you're musical, aren't you?" And the kid says, "Well, yeah, I like music." And this teacher said, "I've got a chorus program, and I've got a program at the end of this semester, and I need kids like you to come and to be in the program. Can you do that?" And the kid says, "Well, you know, I don't know." The next day, the kid's not at school. But the day after that, the kid comes to school. And the teacher walks up to that kid, takes him by the lapels and says, "Hey, where were you yesterday? I need you. I need you, man, and I need you to understand how important you are and the fact that you have something to offer. And do you know what a Beethoven symphony sounds like? Have you ever listened to one? Do you know about American jazz? Have you studied Louis Armstrong and Duke Ellington? You sit down here and I'm going to play you this music and I'm going to teach you about that." That's the kind of thing that maybe that fire in that kid can get lit. And maybe, just maybe, he can feel that link, that an artistic experience allows us to have, not only witnessing something, but making it ourselves. And if you speak to any creative people, whether they're an architect or a painter or a poet or a singer, each of them had a teacher or two or three who saw them and said to them, "I see what you've got inside of you, and it matters, and we care." Everybody needs a nurturer. Everybody needs that help. About talent is the most valuable part of talent we already have. Every kid has it. It's our own intuition and it's our own individual experience. But they need skills. In order to get the truth out that's inside of you, you need skills. You need a teacher that can help you develop those skills. I'm not talking about turning every child into a professional artist. I'm saying that kids deserve the experience of taking something private within themselves and sharing it. Unfortunately, most kids don't have that experience in our state. I'm lucky. I come from the movie business, as the governor does, and my kids, because I can afford it, go to private school. And in the 4th grade, the teacher says to them, "Would you like to play an instrument? You can play the trumpet or the violin, you can be in the band or the orchestra. And if you want to, you can be in chorus." The governor's children have those same advantages. Many children do in the state, in private and public schools. However, many, many, many do not. I understand that budgets are tight right now, and that arts and the culture are the first to go, but is this really a smart choice? We have the 6th largest economy in the world in California. Not just the state, not just the country, the world. And we are 43rd in the nation per capita spending on our students in this state. And arts funding is way down. And look, I'm not saying that arts are the answer to everything, but it's been proven in study after study that arts help us with our life skills. They help us to know who we are, they help us to deal with academia, they help us to deal with the complexities of the world. And I'm saying that I think that if there was a teacher waiting for every kid to make sure that that kid showed up to finish that group mural, or to show their short film, or to perform in that musical, or to complete their poem, if there's a teacher that's noticing that a kid is scribbling a poem in the margins of their math homework, that kid's has a better chance of not getting lost. They need to know that they matter, and they need to know that somebody out there cares. So I join everybody here in celebrating the arts on this beautiful day. Arts is about inclusion. It's about honoring what makes us unique, because that's what makes us united. We can all do better, and I want to join all of you in helping make that happen. Treating education and art in our culture should not be treated as a luxury for some, but as an absolute necessity for every one of us and every one of our kids. Thanks so much.